Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony Speaks Morning Show. I'm Tony T with you here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, giving out life replays for today's card. And on today's show, I'll have picks for here from NBA. It's another 5-game card from the association. Also, college basketball here for us as well. Today here, this is probably our last big card here for Saturday because on Monday we start the conference finals. We start to whittle down these teams. So starting Monday, with the Horizon play-in, and then we get into the ASUN, and then before you know it, it's Arch Madness here later next week. So a lot going on here in college hoops as we get down really to the into March tomorrow, and it's going to be exciting times here as you know, as we get into the college hoops postseason, if you call it conference tournaments. Then we'll get right into the NCAA tournament here in a few weeks. Guys, appreciate you guys. If you hit that like, that thumbs up, we really appreciate it. It really helps us build up our audience when you do that. And of course, you folks in the chat, you're more than welcome to post your comments, post your picks, if you will. Greatly appreciate that. All right. If we get a guy in here for NHL, we'll get you NHL picks. So Rod has an NHL show here every day at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a daily dangle. So tune in for that for a complete rundown on hockey. Rod and his guests will break down the card for you today. So, guys, we said like and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated. Welcome here, our man Jay Roberts. Good luck today here from you as well in the chat. All right, let's get to the NBA today. We'll do it in one block. It is a 5-game card. We got Trailblazers and Hornets. We see Charlotte here. Going to lay 7.5, total 228.5. Rockets and Heat. Well, it's the Rockets on the road, 2.5, total 225.5. Raptors and Wizards. We've got the Raptors here, 13 on the road, total 227.5. Lakers and this Warriors team. Wow, this Laker team took a beating after that loss by everybody, locally and nationally. Yes, the Lakers' losses are always loud because you're the Lakers. LA 4 on the road. I'm seeing 4.5 in some places, total 230. Pelicans and Jazz. Here we got New Orleans, 6.5 on the road, total 245 in this one. Yeah, no, bringing El Nino's here into the show right now. Bring him in right now. Al, what's happening?
Yeah, doing all right. Sorry for showing up late. Had a couple of technical difficulties here trying to get on, but how are you doing, Tony?
Doing all right. Yeah, looking here at this NBA card. I guess Al Ninos, we're just going to do it in one block. What do you got here from the NBA? We'll go over to Al Ninos. What you got?
All right, let's take a quick look at this card. Sorry, still pulling up all my stuff and getting situated. If you want to go first, I'll take the. I'll pick it up after you go, Tony.
All right, so I'll just start it off here. Hang on 1 second here. Yeah, so I'll start. Okay, so NBA, I'll lead off here in the NBA here for this card. We'll look here at Portland and Charlotte. We'll look at the injury reports here from these games. Portland and Charlotte, we've got Sharp out. Avia is doubtful. Klingon here is questionable. For Charlotte, it'll be McNeely out there. For the Hornets. For Houston, Miami, we got Smith, Tate, Van Fleet out. On the Miami side, it's Jovic, Powell, Norman Powell. It's week to week, as the last I saw, so he's going to be out for a while here. Rozier also out. I think he's dealing with a groin injury. It's kind of a serious one there, week to week for Powell. For Toronto, Washington, it's Hepburn, Murray out. Murray Boyles is doubtful. For the Wizards, we've got Davis, Russell, Sarr, Young out. Vukcevic, Riley, and George are all questionable. Lakers will have Hachimura doubtful. On the Warriors side, Cryer, Seth, and Steph Curry out. Porzingis questionable. Draymond Green there is probable. New Orleans and Utah, we got Murphy and Murray out. Missy here is questionable. On the Jazz side, no marketing. Keontae George is questionable. And you ready, Al?
I guess so. Let's see what we can do here.
All right.
Still being a little laggy, but yeah, I think I can give a couple picks out.
All right.
First up, I look at this Rockets Heat game. Now the Heat do play at a real fast pace and have trended slightly to the over, but no Norman Powell there for Miami. I think that slows down their offense a little bit. On the other side, you got the Rockets that started off trending heavily to the overs. Now currently sitting at 32, 25, and 1 to the under. Play at a very slow pace. So I'll take a shot on the under in that one. Raptors, Wizards. Could only look at the Raptors to win both halves there. Not really interested in laying these 2 touchdowns or taking any points here with the Wizards. I guess I would lean towards taking the points at home if I had to play the spread, but I wouldn't mess with the spread in that one. Lakers, Warriors. I like this one to go over despite no Steph Curry here. The Warriors have still been trending to the over without him. You got 8 of the last 10 meetings have gone over. Well, we've talked endlessly about how this Lakers defense, they're 31 and 27th the over, still not playing much defense there. So whatever the Warriors got, I think they'll do enough scoring to get us over this total, and the Lakers should get their offense going as well here. And Pelicans, Jazz, yeah, I'll lay it with the Pelicans here. Definitely look for those sixes. I've seen sixes, 6.5s. If you can find a 6, I'll lay it with the Pelicans there. The last meeting by 11. I think this one is again closer to 10-point win than the spread. Not necessarily. Anyways, they should get the job done again. The Jazz just seem to be in tank mode here, not really looking too interested in winning many games. So I'll lay it with the Pelicans.
Yeah, from El Nino said what I think about these games here. Portland, Charlotte. I'm going to look at this one to go over the total. We have 2 teams in pretty poor defensive form here. We talk up this Charlotte team with their shooters, but defensively over the past couple of weeks, given a 48% shooting, 38% from 3. Trailblazers have also poor defensive form over the past 2 weeks, given a 50% shooting, 40% from 3. I'll look here at the over in that game. Yeah, without Norman Powell, I'm going to look at Houston. That's a big miss there for Miami. This Rockets team here, a +5 net rating on the road. Here, Miami's lost and failed to cover 2 straight with really poor defense. But you look at the Rockets, has really improved their shooting over the past 2 weeks at 52%, 39% from 3. Great defensive form. Heat has not been defending the 3 very well of late. I'll look at Houston in that spot. Lakers and Warriors. I'm going to take Golden State here at that plus price, +4 here. I just don't trust this Laker defense. This looks terrible. They're just not communicating. They're really lost. Seems like they're lost when they play defense right now. The Lakers have failed to cover 6 of 7 with poor defense over the past 2 weeks, given a 49% shooting, 38% from 3. Warriors in pretty good shooting form coming into this one, so I'll look at the Warriors in this one. Pelicans and Jazz went over last time. I think it goes over again here. These are 2 teams that just aren't defending there. But the Pelicans have shot well here, 49%, but given a 47% overall over the past 2 weeks. And boy, this Jazz team in horrible defensive form here over that period, 53% shooting, over 40% from 3. I'll look over in that one. All right, let's continue here on the Tony X Morning Show as we shall. Yeah, that's right. The Lakers do not bet list. Yep, especially if you're laying points more than a possession. I wouldn't trust them at this point against non-tanking teams. Just we got to put that disclaimer in there. But even against tanking teams, they're going to be inflated favorites, right? So it's tough to look at them there. All right, let's move on over to college. It's probably our last huge, massive card until as we get conference tournaments started Monday. So we'll do this in 4 blocks like we usually do here in college hoops. And in college basketball today, in block 1, we're going to cover the game starting at noon and include the 10:30 Eastern games. The games at 2 Eastern and later we'll do in later blocks. So the nooners and include the 1:30 Eastern game in this block. And let's see here. Okay, let me tell you what we got here from these games. Notables here, Virginia, Duke. Duke's going to lay 10 at home in that one. Iowa, Penn State. Iowa, 10 on the road. Seton Hall and UConn. UConn here going to face a defensive team in Seton Hall. And UConn's laying 13.5 at home in that one. Florida State, Georgia Tech. Florida State, 6 on the road. St. Joe's and Rhode Island. Rhode Island, 3.5 at home in that one. Colorado and Houston. Houston, 20.5 at home in that game. Wow, that's a big one there. All right, let's see what else we have here. Notable games. Those are about the notable ones there, other than Georgetown, Xavier. Xavier, 5.5. So block 1, noon, and include the 1:30 Eastern time.
Yeah, I'll start off with that UConn Seton Hall game. You got 2 slow-paced teams here. As you mentioned, Seton Hall coming in more of a defensive team, 18-10 to the under. So I like a lower scoring, slow-paced game in that one. I'll take the under again. It's sitting pretty low there, that total, but I think it's low for a reason. So let's take that one, stay under. Next one up I'm looking at was we looked at this this total here in the St. Joe's Rhode Island game. Another lower scoring affair here. I can see St. Joe's 17-9 the under, Rhode Island 15-13 the under. Plays at a very slow pace. Both teams better on defense than they're on offense, and 5 of the last 8 meetings have stayed under the total. So take another under there. I'll take UCLA there. I know they've struggled on the road, just 3-5 on the road. Minnesota's much better at home than their overall record might suggest. Just 13-15 overall, but 11-4 at home. But still leaning to UCLA to get the job done there on the road, laying that tiny number. And I think I went too far ahead, didn't I?
Yeah, a little bit too far there. Yeah. All right, we'll continue here on the Tony Morning Show. And as I'll give you what I like. I like one in this spot here. I like taking the points here with St. Joseph's. This is a team that's been a covering machine. We look at St. Joseph, covered 11 of 13 with really great defense. Rams have been able to cover 5 of 7 with poor shooting over the last month. St. Joseph hit 38, allowing just 38% shooting, 29% from 3. And in poor shooting form is this Rams team, Rhode Island here, and also poor 3-point shooting form. Rhode Island here in offensive efficiency, 11th in the conference, turning the ball over, poor with 2-point shooting, and number 12th in effective field goal defense, giving up 38% from 3. Look at St. Joseph's in this spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show. Continuing on in Block 2. In Block 2, we're going to cover the games from 2 Eastern and include the 3:30 Eastern time games. So that will be block number 2. And some of the notable games in this block will be here, UCLA, Minnesota, as we talked about. UCLA 1.5 on the road in that game against Minnesota. Oklahoma State, Cincinnati. Cincinnati laying 10 at home. Oregon, Northwestern, 2 downtrodden teams in the Big Ten. Northwestern 3 at home. We got Vandy and Kentucky. Kentucky a 1-point home favorite. 2 powers from the Mountain West collide. San Diego State, New Mexico. New Mexico a 2-point home favorite there against San Diego State. What else do we have here? Louisville, Clemson, a good one in the ACC. Louisville 1.5 on the road in that one. And let's roll on over here. We're going to 2:30 Eastern. So what do we have here? We got South Carolina, Georgia. Georgia laying 12 at home. Utah, Arizona State. Sun Devils 6.5 at home. All right. So in Block 2, it's 2 Eastern, includes the 3:30 Eastern time over to El Ninos.
Yeah, going to take a slight lean to the under in that Louisville-Clemson game. Should be a good one. But Clemson playing a real slow pace, coming in at 17-10 to that under. Louisville is 16-12 to the under. So I'll take an under in that one. Moving on down, as I said, still like UCLA there in that one. Slightly to George Mason there to get the job done over the Bonnies at home. 15-2 at home. I actually like this one quite a bit more than just a slight lean. Was a close one in that first leg there just a few weeks ago, last month actually, at St. Bonaventure, but I think they win this one more comfortably at home. So I'll take George Mason there. And going up to 3:30, you said?
3:30, yep. 3:30.
That wraps it up for me.
All right, there from El Ninos. Tell you what I think about a couple of them in this block here. I'll go ahead and lay it at home with Kentucky. Kentucky's covered 5 of 7 with really good defense. And over the last month, they're allowing just 42% shooting. And offensively, this is a team that rebounds the ball effectively here. So Vanderbilt team offensively that has struggled on the glass on both ends of the court. This Kentucky team that's 4th in defensive efficiency in the SEC. So I'll look at Kentucky there. I'm going to look at here in this. Let's see. That's the one I have in this block. You have that game. And I also have Green Bay here to cover against Youngstown State. The Phoenix have covered 5 of 6 with really good shooting. Look over the last month, hitting 47%. The Gottliebs, 42% from 3, giving up just 43% overall. They've been shooting the ball very well. Youngstown State is a team that turns the ball over in conference play, not very good from 3. And on defense, giving up 37% from three-point line. So I'll look here at Green Bay in the spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show as we continue on. Block number 3, we cover the games at 4 Eastern, include the 5:30 Eastern time games. So we'll go here for Eastern. include the 5:30 Eastern games, and let's see what we have here in this block. Actually, the 5:45 East. We have a game at 5:45. So 4 Eastern include the 5:45 Eastern. Notable games here in this big block will include Texas Tech, Iowa State. Iowa State at home laying 10.5 in that game. A big number there. Also, we've got Nebraska, USC. Nebraska on the road laying 5.5 at USC. USC, a bubble team. I think it's like the first team out, if I'm not mistaken. Kansas and Arizona. Arizona at home laying 10 in that game. That's a big number there. Texas, Texas A&M. A&M at home laying 3.5 and 3. Wisconsin and Washington. Wisconsin had trouble at Oregon. Wisconsin's going to lay 1.5 as well at Washington, looking to bounce back. Pitt and Cal at home laying 7.5. What else do we have here in this big block of games? BYU, West Virginia. BYU 2.5 on the road in that one. And the last game in this block at 5:45. Syracuse, Wake Forest. It's Wake Forest 4, total 152.5 over to Alninos.
Yeah, I'll take a slight lean to the under in that Kansas-Arizona game. You got 2 pretty solid defenses going at it. Kansas coming in 19-9 to the under. Arizona 500 on its totals. I could see a lower scoring game there. Other games I was looking at in this block was Wisconsin over Washington there, laying a tiny number on the road. Again, should get this job done now. Washington has been better at home. Again, 9-5 at home, but not going to worry about that too much. I think Wisconsin gets the job done there. Speaking of USC here, another team 9-5 at home, but I think outmatched here in this one. I think Nebraska goes in and wins this one by 2 possessions plus. This line has been all over the place, up and down, but still think Nebraska should get the job done there, shooting the ball real well, playing the better defense. Should get the job done there. BYU, West Virginia. Yeah, I'll take BYU here now. West Virginia, another great home team, 13-3 at home. BYU not traveling particularly well, just 3-4 on the road. But again, another team that's just better pretty much all around. West Virginia does play some pretty solid defense, but I think, again, it's going to be better offense than West Virginia's defense in this one.
There we go from Alninos. I'll tell you what I think here in this block. I have a lot of games in the later blocks here. I got just one for you. It looks like it's just going to be one for you in this block. I'm going to take a Northern Colorado plus the points here against Idaho. The Vandals here in poor 3-point shooting form coming into this game. Northern Colorado over the last month, 51% from the floor, 42% overall, 30%. I'm sorry, allowing 42% overall, 31% from 3. Northern Colorado coming in very good defensive form. This is a Vandals team that doesn't force turnovers in conference, again, over 37% from 3. Northern Colorado here, second in effective field goal shooting in the Big Sky, 57% from 2. They defend the 3 and 2 very well in conference play. So I'll look at Northern Colorado there in that one. All right, let's continue here on Tony's Morning Show. Closing out college hoops with the games at 6 Eastern time, and we'll include your late night games here at 10:30 Eastern time. So in this block of games here in the primetime window, Oklahoma LSU, looks like LSU laying 2 in that one. SMU Stanford, this one's about Stanford, about a pick 'em in this game with SMU at Stanford. Out west also, we've got TCU Kansas State, TCU 3 on the road against Kansas State. Also in this block, 2 bubble teams, Boise State, Fresno State, Mountain West. Boise 6.5 on the road in that one. Sorry, Fresno State's not a Fresno State. I was thinking of Utah State. Fresno State is not a bubble team. Check that out. They're a bad team. But they've been covering. They have been covering if you look at their numbers there. But Boise laying 6.5, 7 on the road against the cover machine, Fresno State. All right, let's see what else we have here. Baylor, UCF. It is UCF laying 2.5 at home. Villanova, St. John's, your primetime, 8 Eastern on Fox. It is St. John's 7.5 at home against Villanova. Also in this block, Arkansas, Florida. We got Florida laying 11 at home against Arkansas. Auburn laying 10 at home against Ole Miss. Other notable games here: Nevada, UNLV. Nevada, a 1.5-point road favorite. Grand Canyon and Utah State. This is your bubble-licious game here. Actually, Utah State might get in. Grand Canyon's going to probably need help. We got Utah State 9.5 at home in that one. And then the late nights, one everyone's we'll check it out here. Gonzaga, St. Mary's. Gonzaga 1.5 and 2 on the road over to Alnitos.
Yeah, small lean to the over in the Auburn Ole Miss game. Mississippi coming at 18 and 10 to the over. Auburn is 16 and 12 to that over. So I'll take an over in that one. Liked UCF there. Getting the job done over Baylor. They do have a pretty big question mark there with Stillwell. So maybe wait for a confirmation there, but I think they should still get the job done at home. Like Utah Tech, they're on the road over Southern Utah. Again, just a better team overall, much better defense, should travel well. And I liked nope, yes, okay, sorry. I liked sorry, went over this one. I think that wraps it up for me, Tony.
That's right for Alnitos there in that blocker. I tell you what I think about these games. I'm going to take the Privateers, New Orleans here, plus the 6.5 here against plus 8.5 against McNeese State. The Privateers in pretty good form defensively over the last month, allowing 40% shooting, 28% for three, and hitting 46% overall. This is a New Orleans team that's fourth in offensive efficiency in the Southland, 76% at the line. They rebound 53% inside, and second in the conference in effective field goal defense. McNeese has failed to cover 6 of 9 with poor three-point shooting. Privateers have covered 8 of 9 with great defense. So I'll look at New Orleans here plus the 8.5. Liberty, Jacksonville State. I'll look at Liberty, number 1 in offensive efficiency in the Conference USA. 61% from two-point distance in conference. They make 39% from three. Jacksonville State is 8th in offensive efficiency in the Conference USA, turning the ball over. Not very good with a two-point defense, and they don't force turnovers defensively in conference. And you look at the Flames over the last month, 52% from the field, 38% from three. And Gamecocks are not very good shooting form. I'll look at Liberty there. Yeah, I can only take the points of Villanova here. It's a big number. I know St. John's pissed after getting embarrassed against UConn. But Villanova is number 3 in offensive efficiency in the Big East. 35% from three, 54% from two-point distance. They defend very well in the conference, forcing turnovers, defending three-point line very well. You look at St. John's, 8th in effective field goal shooting in the Big East, 34 from three, 48 inside, and they give up 35% from three. So Villanova's won 7 of 8 straight up. I'll take the points there with Villanova. I agree with Utah Tech. This is one of those under-the-radar teams that have gotten better as the season's gone longer. Utah Tech over the last month, 49% shooting, 41% from three, in great defensive form. You look at Southern Utah over the past month, giving up 48% shooting. This is a Utah Tech that's number 1 in effective field goal shooting in the WAC, and number 2 in effective field goal defense in the WAC as well. Southern Utah last in defensive efficiency in the WAC. They don't force turnovers. They give 36% from three. They're also offensively last in the conference in turning the ball over. I'll take Utah Tech in that one. Yeah, I'll look at Gonzaga here to lay the short number here against St. Mary's. This is team that's number 1 in a defensive efficiency in the WCC, a team that forces turnovers. They rebound, defend the 2 and 3-point line very well. And, of course, they hit their 2-point shots extremely well, 59%. A little better form there than St. Mary's. All right, let's continue here against New Orleans. I like the Privateers. Not much on Stony Brook. Yeah, I would probably lean here with San Francisco against looking at that game. San Francisco against Pacific. That one I would kind of lean on the Dons to get it done here on the road here against Pacific with that short trip there. Look at San Fran. They do have a road win at San Diego, road win at Pepperdine, but I don't think much here of this. It's kind of a down year for this Dons team. 15 and 16 overall. This is not. They're having one of the worst seasons I can remember in a long time. But this UOP team, 3 straight losses, bad home losses here to St. Mary's and Santa Clara. I could only look at them in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show. We got you through our college basketball games. Some of the folks in there thinking about so. I don't really follow the Stony Brook team very, very much here. Yeah, I would. Listen, if you go
lay it against them, that's
yeah. I like that. Right. You want to sprinkle on money line? Go ahead. Their form is very good. Just New Orleans team. So if you want to sprinkle them on money line, do that. So I wouldn't argue that one bit. I've cashed with them quite a bit of late. This Privateers team. Yeah, they used to be good, right? San Francisco used to be good. It just not this year. It hasn't worked out for them. Maybe it's the NIL situation. It's a Catholic school. Yeah, this I don't. Yeah, there's really no excuse because some of these teams of WCC not been very good. So yeah, I didn't really look at the Summit League. These teams are always hard to predict when you got those rivalries going on. In that Summit League. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show. Any game, El Ninos, that you might have forgotten or left off the card?
Yeah, just maybe a slight lean to an under in that late one. The Gonzaga St. Mary's. You got two teams trending that way. Gonzaga's 20-10 to the under. St. Mary's is sorry, losing it there. 15-14 to the under. You got two teams that play pretty good defense, and yeah, St. Mary's playing at a slower pace as well there. So I'll take a defensive battle there.
Yeah, I mentioned how this Fresno State team, all they do has been covering of late, and I wanted to take a closer look at that one. That one might have made my free pick card here with Fresno State plus the points. This only fact that they've been in a little better form and they've been keeping games close here, not necessarily winning games, but they've been playing well enough to cover these big spreads in these games. Let's see here. Where are we at here? I don't know if I found the right time in this game, but let's see. Actually, I think it was an earlier start, right? It was an early start today. But anyway, that probably lean here to continue that cover streak here with Fresno State. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show. It's now time for the hockey segment where we do have the Daily Dangle coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern time where Rod gives a more thorough look at these games. But on our segment in the morning, we just ask the cappers, give us what you got. So, Al Ninos, in this big hockey card, what you got?
Yeah, a couple of decent spots, I think, here. Again, still no Crosby for the Penguins, but they won their last one pretty comfortably. I think that's another good spot against these struggling Rangers here. So maybe laying a little more juice than you should. I think this number has gone up a little bit since it opened, but still like the Penguins to get the job done there. I'm going to get a little plus money here with the Bruins on the road. Not too much, but I'll take as much plus money as I can get. I think there's some value there on Boston to get the job done on the road. Oilers, Sharks. The Sharks team we backed quite a bit before the break. Unfortunately, not quite playing their best hockey right now. Lean to the Oilers -1 there. Again, you can take them in regulation if you prefer that. Moving on down this card. Yeah, I could only look at the Avs on the puck line here. Not rushing the bet. It's juicy, and just don't think there's much value there, but that's the way I'd be looking at that one. Maple Leafs, I think, there's a little value there on them at home. Still one of the more inconsistent teams and actually not playing great hockey coming into this one, but still a lot of talent on that roster. And again, on their home ice, I think there's a lot of value on them tonight. Tough one. Sabres, Lightning. Hard to talk anyone off of the Sabres here, getting a ton of plus money. I could look at them plus 1.5 too, but I think it's a good spot for the Lightning with the rest and home ice advantage. Lean to the Lightning there, -1 for me. Again, not much value on it. I like the Hurricanes -1 there again. I think there's a better value in that one. Better spot for Carolina to get the job done at home there over these Red Wings. Again, can take them in regulation if you prefer that. Should be laying just a tiny bit of juice for that rather than the -182 I'm seeing on the money line there. So definitely got to find a way to knock that down. Or again, just go for the puck line, go for some nice plus money if you want, but I'd rather get the insurance and take a -1. Kings, Flames. Yeah, the Kings have not looked great at all. Maybe a bit of a homer pick, but leaning Kings -1 there. Again, regulation if you prefer that. And that wraps it up for me.
Yeah, from El Ninos. All right, we got you through our hockey. Now it's time for our Parlay Purple segment where our cappers give it a parlay, team player prop, game of the future. They make the call here on this segment for the Parlay Purple segment. We go back to El Ninos.
All right, let's take the Pelicans in the NBA. We'll take, let's see, some good spots in hockey. So I'll take the Hurricanes and Oh, all right. Let's keep it a two-teamer. I know there's tons of action today, but we'll keep it to those two.
Two-teamer from El Ninos. To tell you what I like here, I'm going to go with St. Joseph's plus the points. I'll also go with Kentucky at home, laying that short number. I'll also go here with Villanova laying those numbers. All right, we got you through our Parlay Pro segment. Now it's time to see what our cappers have for sale over at Tony's Picks. Heading into a big Saturday of action here from college hoops, NBA, and NHL. So really good card for today's action. And we click the link in the description. You'll head on over to Tony's Picks. This is where you're going to find our premium plays here for sale. Of course, you can see El Ninos here having a fantastic year in 2026, documented over on Tony'sPicks.com right now. El Ninos sitting here. Let's find this banner here. What we got here? Got here someplace. Oh, we go. 891 units of profit from El Ninos. This is based on $100 unit wager size. So, Al, what you got for sale today?
Yeah, dropped it yesterday on college basketball. Looking for a bounce back today in the NBA. Got two plays there. Got my starters if you want to get the early game in and get your action started early. But also got my alley-oop there, my best bet. If you want to be a little more patient and wait for that one, or grab them both, or again, better yet, grab one of those long-term 2-for-1 capper passes. Pair me up with your favorite capper, and getting these team plays could very well be some, as I said, tons of action today. So could be a good day to grab one of those long-term and get all those team plays emailed right to you.
That's right, guys. We're the El Ninos over at Tony's Picks. Best plays up on the board right now. LEU from the NBA for you. Remember, all of our one-day passes are profit guaranteed. They must turn a profit or amount purchased will be credited back to your account for side credits. That's profit guarantee. Or you may opt for the long-term subscriptions. So Al's got a 3-day, 7-day, all up to a 1-year all sports pass. Already ready for the baseball with El Ninos with the baseball pass in there, NBA, NHL.
Yeah, no preseason, but do have the pass up there. Yeah, no, don't expect much preseason for me. But yes, definitely looking forward to the MLB season. Sorry to cut you off, though.
Yeah, 25th is when it starts. We're less than 4 weeks away from the start of Major League Baseball. So a good time to get involved with El Ninos with that long-term subscription. Remember, all of our member plays are in the system by 11 a.m. Eastern time. But if you handicap throughout the day and night looking for late winners, so we put a play in between 10 minutes, 2 hours worth of game time. That's late steam. And those are emailed directly to your inbox using the email you use when you sign up for the service. So late steam available here on all long-term subscriptions. So get on board with El Ninos over at Tony's Picks. All right, today I've got a best bet on the board from College Hoops. Also, I have a 3-pack with 2 college and 1 NBA. So 4 premiums for me today. So get on board with me and match me up with your favorite capper with El Ninos with the 2-for-1 capper promotion. So go ahead and get signed up. With you here, guys, every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Tony's Picks Morning Show. Like and subscribe. Greatly appreciate that. It really helps us build up our audience when you do that. And, of course, you can head on over to our YouTube channel, see what we got over there for today. When you type in Tony's Picks, we go through it right here, and you can see any live shows will show up on the live tab. Remember our live streams. We have 5 live shows over our channel, including Night Moves here at 3 a.m. Eastern time. A complete rundown on the games from Ramon and company. Alessandro's got the Lookhead Show. It is on Sunday through Friday. So he's got his replay there. You guys saw a replay of his Lookhead Show. Of course, a happy hour with Rod here, Monday through Friday here at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, Daily Dangle Hockey Show from Rod airs here at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Complete rundown on NHL. Of course, our morning show archives as well. We go over to our compilation videos. Got my college, got the NBA up for you right now. Chris's hit list is up right now. He's got the NHL hit list for you guys. So check that one out here up on the channel. Our playlists are up there. NBA, college hoops up there as well. NHL, Ramon's got you covered on every game from the NHL today. So check those out right now. Fight picks. We got fight picks, right? We got UFC in Mexico City tonight. We got fight picks here from Alessandro. We also have fight picks here from Mills. So we got fight picks ready to roll today in UFC from both Mills and Alessandro. So a lot of great contributions today. More NBA here. I think we also got compilation videos. All of Alessandro's videos are in playlists, so check those out as well. Shorts and more compilation videos, I should say. So a lot of great content up there. Of course, El Ninos got you here on the morning show, and we see you on the reels as well.
Yeah, definitely mostly morning shows for me. So keep tuning in early, catch the replays if you can't make it this early. And also definitely don't forget to go check out all the other great content over at Tony's Picks YouTube channel.
Yeah, a lot of great content on the channel, guys. So make sure you guys hit it, like, subscribe, set notifications. And of course, we greatly appreciate you guys here in the channel as you subscribe. And of course, those playlists are up there as we go live here for you here on many shows. And of course, on all the shows, we have the chat integration here, so you guys can always interact with us. If you want picks, you can always ask us for picks, and we'll get them to you if you will there. All right. And of course, I just wanted to check this playlist here. It's always got to be the date published newest. All right. Let's save that there. All right, guys. With you here every day, 9:30 Eastern time. I'd like to thank everybody in the chat for joining us today here with all your picks and your commentaries today. Of course, our man in here as well, like that, our infidel cash flow, looking for some more cash flow with the privateers. Real love. Always great seeing you from the Philly area. What's up, my man? Lex Steele in here as well. Join us today in the chat as well. AJS looking for a prediction on that Summit game. You got one, Cal Dog. Always great seeing you here in the chat there as well. There, back to back there from our man Lex Steele. What else? We have anybody in there? I think we saw Ron Hahn earlier in the show. Jay Roberts was in the show today, so appreciate you guys here. All right, guys, we're back again tomorrow live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. El Nino's, any closing thoughts before we close it out?
Yeah, I actually liked a couple picks. I think we agreed on a couple with cash flow there. So best of luck to him. Best of luck to everyone in the chat, everyone watching. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the games today.
That'll do it for you guys. We're going to wait goodbye, guys. You guys make it a winning one. We're back tomorrow here on the Tony's Picks Morning Show.